Hi guys, as promised, we're going to be dealing with the Philco 60. There she be. First we'll start with the IFs. I've got it connected up. Signal generator going into the grid cap of the 6A7. That will be your signal grid. It's where the signal comes into the mixer tube. I run a fairly low signal. It's 460 kilocycles for the IF. If you look at the instructions for the Model 60, they're very vague. And for one thing, they don't give you any instructions about where to connect up an output meter. They just talk about a certain test instrument, radio set test instrument that Philco makes, which has the output meter built into it plus the generator. Well, if you go back a little bit in time and look up the Philco 66, which is a very almost identical chassis to the Philco 60, it has the full, a lot better set of instructions, and it tells you to hook up the output meter across the plate and cathode of the 42 tube, which is the output tube, which basically the cathode goes to ground, so you hook up your the hot lead to the plate, and then of course connect any point on the chassis for ground. Set it on AC. You're looking for only an AC signal, so set your meter to AC and adjust your level down. I've got the VTVM set on the 1.5 volt scale, and when I turn this up, it'll be running, I don't know, about 0.8, 0.9 volts. You can barely hear it, and that's what you want. You don't want to swamp the IFs on any radio or TV, for that matter, that you're doing an alignment on, especially on the IFs. One other thing is this is on the Philco 60. Any other type of radio, any other brand, make, model, you want to get the instructions for that particular make and model that you're working on. They can be somewhat different on where you inject signal at, where you pick the signal off at, and so forth. So let me get you turned in here, and hopefully you can see the meter and see what I'm doing. I'm going to rotate this down. The camera is a different camera. I went back to my old camera because my new camera is effectively dead. It's been dying. If I open up the screen, sometimes it decides to work, sometimes it doesn't, but that's all I get. And for quite a while I was able to rotate this around and bring it back, and that's how I've been able to show up. But now it, as you can see, is dead on a doornail. In fact, it actually literally shuts it off when I do that. So there's nothing, without the viewfinder, it's real difficult to actually know where you're doing video on. So anyway, there's a ribbon cable in here, and I imagine it's finally gave up. So let's turn this up. Wrong way. Alrighty. wrong. Alright. Seems to be off a little bit. Now, I don't have a fiber tool, so I took heat shrink tubing and put over, and then it wanted to slide down a little bit when I heat shrinked it, so I pushed it back up and put some tape here. But it works fine. It keeps it insulated, because two of these compensators are on the primary side of the IF, which means they are quite hot. Okay. And you just look for a peak. You turn it back and forth until you get a peak. And keep turning the generator down. There we go. We'll go back. Always double check them. Be pretty good there. And there. Okay, that takes care of the IF. Now we'll take this thing down a little bit. Now our next step is to check and adjust the antenna and oscillator circuits. So we have to connect this up a little differently. Turn that down. Crank this thing up so it doesn't. There we go. Right now we'll just stick that on like that. There we go. And let's see. We got to read the instructions and see if it gives us, okay, set generator to 1700. So before I do that, I want to disconnect it so that I can get set.
I got it connected up. I got my generator connected up to a frequency counter as I usually do. It's a lot easier to read the numbers off of it than try to read the dial and estimate exactly if you're right on the money. Okay.
Now, hook that up. Actually, tell you the truth, since my dial only goes to 1500, we're going to set it about round in there. The 60s doesn't give an actual instruction on where to what frequency to set it on. So I went by the 66, which evidently definitely goes up to 1700 on its dial. Now we're going to have to run her a little bit hard, but on this it's not quite as bad. Now these adjustments are rather difficult to make, and the fact I really don't have a tool to easily do them. So I'm picking up a radio station too in the background. So
I gotta see if I can do this with a pair of needle nose pliers.
I'll show you here in a minute why this is so difficult.
And touchy one.
There we go. Now that's the oscillator. Now we'll adjust the antenna. Nice peak. Now let's see if I can get you where I can kind of show this. Yeah, easiest way is take the camera off the tripod. It'll be a little shaky, but these are the guys I was adjusting. Right here, right here. They're 1/4-inch nuts that have been soldered onto a shaft, screwed on and soldered down. But the distance right in here between this point and the nut, none of my 1/4-inch drives with my sockets or anything has got a thin enough wall, and it don't want to turn. So that was some of the problems I had with that. So I'm going to leave it at that. I already did the adjustment for the shortwave on this. It's basically one other compensator back here. It's actually deals with the low frequency oscillator adjustment, but they call it the police band. And being we also don't have on this radio here, it doesn't have the wave trap. It's not the latest revision, or otherwise you'd be about in this general area here, and you adjust that right after you adjust the IFs, set because it's set at 460 also, and you adjust it for a minimum, not a max, but a minimum. But the low frequency compensator, I know it's in good shape because I had checked it earlier and adjusted it, and it's a little touchy, but it's adjusted. So I'm going to take and we'll disconnect this thing, get an antenna hooked up to it, and see what we get and how well it's working. I'll stop the video here, and when I come back, she'll be all ready to go. Okay, I'm back. We're on broadcast band now at the high end of the dial. Little music, but we won't leave it on there very long.
Yes, you did. We won't go there. We'll not go there. Stories untold. There you go. Great to have you here today, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Tone works. On the local stations, the others were fairly far off, and I've got the volume turned down pretty low. There's volume all the way down. I don't know if you can hear it.
That's what I'm hearing. Pretty good source.
There's a station right next to that. So it's got good selectivity. A little noise, but not bad for around here.
I just heard a story of the refugees in Lebanon, where they were receiving over the
That's a
summer
station about 100 miles away.
per month per person from the world at large in humanitarian.
I don't want to push that speaker. The cone needs to be replaced. The speaker's working. That's the one I replaced the
where they risked their lives.
field winding in.
Literally coming
So she
across
is working,
the ocean,
but the
coming
cone
to
is in really bad shape.
Lebanon, which isn't
So,
their home, which they're already living in dire straits.
so it rattles
Coming to
a little bit.
Greece
I temporarily glued it around the edge because I know I'm going to recone it.
elsewhere. So I would bring. Wednesday. If it's Friday, that'll be okay.
Which, by the way, I got it turned down.
Our community calendar this morning.
See, it's set face down. It's not up.
Favorite police officers,
And if
neither
you-
have ever given me a ticket. That's why I like them so much. We'll be back to talk about holiday
That's
safety in just a moment.
Have you asked
basically just really chewed up over here and here. Been like it's been smashed in and crunched
all you need is in your
and stuff. I tried my best to straighten it out.
Pay bills, transfer funds,
But
apply for a loan. All with a swipe or a click. That's just better. State Street Bank knows the difference between just banking and banking better. The A button and make ISIS go away. Disappear.
right down there in the static. This is where I pick up my noise.
However you build cheer, we have just the tools to make it happen. You try it. I know for sure challenge.
I'm really impressed with this radio. I've been looking at the speaker. Sorry about that.
Well, you know, it's funny. And by the way, given our experience, it's like schools, English as a second language, so there's a lot of questions that.
Now let's try. Of course, this is the extension down here. On the shortwave, it goes 1500 kilocycles, 1600, 1700, and then on up to about 4 megs. And we're picking a lot of noise up on it. It's the wrong time of day for shortwave, but I thought maybe we might see if we can get something.
And that's in the way of
So, I'll have to check it tonight, but it should be working just fine. It had been. But the radio works good. The cabinet is in really good shape. You guys seen it. So I'll do a final video once it's in the cabinet. The top just needs a little bit of cleaning. There's always on every radio a little white paint flecks. I swear everybody takes these old radios and sets them in a room where they're painting, and especially with white paint. Although I had one that had yellow paint on it. So there's where she at. And when I get a cone, I don't know if I'll get one ordered next month or not, but when I do, we'll do a video on that. But otherwise, the speaker is working fine with that replacement coil in there, and everything is working fine with the riveting and locking her down. So that'll be, at least for the time being, it on the Philco 60. So I want to thank you for watching and following along in this series. The radio works great, and I'm quite impressed with it, and it sounds good and stuff. So if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you like videos that deal with tube equipment, radios, TVs, test gear, and all the restoration plus theory about them, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That way any new videos will you'll be notified. So until the next video, I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.